Hi, everybody. Welcome to Talks Tamiya. I'm Craig. Thank you very much for joining us on the podcast today. I am joined yet again by the one and only Phil at Poor Boys RC. Phil, how are you doing?
Hello, everyone. I'm great, and I've got a mustache.
What a mustache that is.
It's Movember.
Yeah.
Look at that. You can sweep a shop floor with that bad boy. Look at that. Not bad, right?
And we are also joined by the one and only Mark Bryan. Mark, how are you doing? No mustache.
No mustache, no beard, plain face. Sorry, guys, to disappoint, but thanks for having me anyway.
You
Always a
look great.
pleasure. So do you guys. And we've got the full goatee going on my left with the old Craig.
Yes.
Sorry,
Thank
young
you very
Craig.
much.
I'm the old
Craig.
guy
Yes,
here.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
The OAG, but the young Craig. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Compared
So
to me, anyway.
we're here to talk some RC news and some RCs as always. But unfortunately, it looks to me a little bit like Tamiya has gone and let us down with the RC news because there is not a lot of Tamiya news, unfortunately. I went through, the only thing I could find out is that green dump truck is coming at some point, and the DB01 SR that we've already talked about is coming at some point, and that's about your lot.
That's about
As soon as
it.
we've already done
Candy
that to
green
death.
dump truck.
That was
For everybody who's interested in a candy green dump truck.
It sounds quite dull, doesn't it? A candy green dump truck.
It's
What can I say?
shiny. I
Is
mean,
that
it looks
it?
cool, but
But let's be fair, us real Tamiya fans, we really prefer the buggies, the race cars, the rally cars. Okay, there's a place for the dump trucks and stuff, but it's not really our thing, is it? To be fair, if you watch our channels anyway, I don't think seeing Craig's or yours, Phil, they don't really feature that much, do they, on our channels?
no,
Like I
we
say,
don't.
there's a place for them, but it's a different kind of interest level, I think.
Yeah, I agree. They are cool. I mean, I've never
Yeah.
owned one, and I would love to own one of those Scania trucks or something. Even that dump truck would be a pretty cool RC to own at some point, but you're going to pay a pretty big price point for something like that. And then what do you really do with it? You know, you're not, unless you're out there shoveling and, actually kind of putting it to real kind of scale use. What else do you do with it? You can drive it around slowly, I guess, which would be kind of neat, but I think it'd be, drive it around once or twice and you kind of get your kicks out of it. And then just, that's that. I don't think you're going to really do much with it afterwards.
I think that's a good point, Phil.
I'm not going to be putting it around the Orchard Raceway. That's for certain.
No, I don't think it'd win, Craig.
Just every turn just topples over.
or dumps.
Yeah.
So with the lack of Tamiya news to talk about, we have to get straight into other business. Phil, I'm going to give you a bit of a minute. I forgot to ask you when we were doing the patter at the start what your Tamiya Hero car was going to be. So I'll give, because I did say it was going to be your turn. Oh, see, what a pro, Mark. I forgot to ask him, and he prepared anyway. So,
because
do you want to launch it?
You gave it to Mark, and it really kind of hurt my feeling. And, I almost wasn't going to hang out with you guys anymore, but I figured, I'll let it slide this time.
Oh, what a gent.
So, Phil, do tell us, what is your Hero Tamiya car for the month?
I meant to do a little more research on it, so I sounded smarter, but I forgot to do that. But my choice of this month, Tamiya Hero, is the Hot Shot.
I wonder why.
We wonder why.
I know.
So
I've been building one of those.
So here's the thing. I've been building this. This is a super shot. It's not a hot shot, but I got hot shot running through my veins right now. And hang on a second here. Did I select hot shot the first time?
No.
I don't know.
No, I did Midnight Pumpkin and Clodbuster. That's what I've done. That's right. I had to think for a second there. So Hot Shot, the original, not this guy. This is kind of the premium version, if you will. But the original Hot Shot, and I'll tell you why. I mean, obviously the styling of it looks amazing. I think it was Tamiya's first four-wheel drive buggy, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yep. I think it was.
Yeah.
And, of course, the monoshock design. I think monoshocks just scream 80s. They scream 80s buggy. They scream Tamiya. And of all the monoshock design vehicles you've seen in the front, you've seen the front laydown shock on a lot of cars. but rarely, if ever, have you seen the rear upright sort of frontward facing monoshock, you know, right?
Yeah.
How's it work, Mark? Where
It
else do you
kind of
see that
goes
happen?
backwards and forwards. Oh, that wasn't a very good analogy, was it?
You can always
Anybody who
just
knows hot
smart to
shot
bring
knows
the
what I
tone
mean.
down, can't you?
The shot goes like that.
That's
Yeah.
right. It's a
Yeah,
cantilever
it does.
system, right? It's a cantilever.
Yeah, yeah. It's
But you know,
blooming
the
clever.
styling of it, they're fun to drive and they look super cool, and they're iconic. And here we are, almost 40 years later, and it still stands out in a crowd. There's a big vintage race in Australia that went on last weekend, and I saw a bunch of them on the track there. They look so good, and yeah, that's a hero to me, if you ask me. The Hot Shot.
Brilliant choice. Absolutely spot on. I'm with you there. Absolutely.
Mark, do you have a hot shot?
I have a hot shot. I didn't get one. I think it was only last year I've got one. So I restarted my hobby about 9 or 10 years ago. I had all sorts of Tamiyas, but that thing, yeah, it eluded me. And I got one last year. And when I built it, like Phil said, that crazy monoshock rear with the kind of this, you got the rear suspension arms go up and down, and there's these cantilever things that push up on another lever that's got another lever that pushes on the center shot, which goes back. There's that again, backwards and forwards, laterally with the chassis. And then you got the same at the front, but across the front, which has been redone again, hasn't it, with the Thunder Dragon. What was the other one in that series?
The Super Saber as well.
Yeah. Quite a few did that same front.
Yeah, even the Fox, I think,
mounts.
uses the same lower arms.
But crazy, just unusual, but it blooming works. And the first time I drove the Hot Shot, I was blown away. I couldn't believe how good it was for such an old design. It must be, 50 years old? The design?
No, 40. Got to be 40.
40 years old.
Yeah, I think 88, I think it came out, 87.
Yeah, 87, 88, maybe 86.
Someone's got to look
they
it up.
drive so well for such an old design. I was blown away. Yeah, so I'm totally with you on that, Phil. What a great choice.
Right on. And fun fact, they can actually handle quite a bit of power. I've got a 2S. I run mine on a 2S LiPo with a 10-turn brushless motor, and I've had that in there for 5 years. Mind you, I don't drive it a whole ton. And when I do drive it, it's typically on sand. So, you don't have a slipper clutch, right? So sand is your slipper clutch in a lot of ways. It's very forgiving when you land on it. And so but it's lasted, and I've done some pretty serious long jumps with it, and I've bragged on that car pretty hard. I haven't even broken apart yet. So it's I think they've got, most Tamiyas have a bit of a reputation for being fragile, and my personal experience, it's actually been pretty tough. It's been a robust chassis, looks awesome, and monoshocks are just the coolest thing in the world. So
yeah.
So
and
1985, 40
85.
years old.
Was it? Wow. And it looks so cool. Even to this day, it's just one of those iconic, classic-looking Tamiyas, and it's just a beautiful-looking buggy. And Craig, do you remember when we did the SummerSlam with Dom and Rob? What won the four-wheel drive buggy class?
I can't remember.
It was Dom with the Hot Shots.
The Hot Shot.
It took out Rob's. Remember, it took out Rob's Super Vanty on the straight.
He did. Yeah.
It just drove straight through the Super Vanty. So, yeah, that says a lot for the old design, doesn't it?
Now, what I will say with the Hot Shot, because I idolised that car as a boy growing up. There was the one RC that I wanted. I circled it in every Tamiya catalogue that came out. I never got it, but it was the one I wanted. And we were so desperate for a Hot Shot when I got the Raider, and then Dad bought like this beat up Grasshopper, and it came with a body, and we sprayed it red, and we found some old Hot Shot stickers, and we put it all over it and pretended that this Grasshopper was a Hot Shot. That's how desperate we were for one.
I've seen that video. Of yours, Craig, and that always makes me smile. I could tell how much you desperately wanted that Hot Shot, and you did everything you could to make another car look like a Hot Shot. I totally get that. Totally get that, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. And now I have one, and I love it. And what I think is fantastic about that car, because it doesn't deserve to drive anywhere near as well as it does.
No.
But when you jump it, it stays flat in the air. It doesn't tend to do anything other than flat every time you jump it. It must be the weight disproportion of it or something about the way it's been designed. But it is, I just find it's always flat. It's not the fastest, but it's so satisfying to jump and drive.
Yeah.
Totally
and
agree.
I love the adjustable preload collar that's on each shock, right? So as opposed to like what we see today with preload collars, just like a soft plastic clip, it's integrated. It's kind of part of the shock. It's got like a 3 or 4 level step down to it, where you can adjust your preload, and the collar's just always on there, and it's kind of puts more and more tension on the spring. It's fun. It's a cool setup, and you just don't really see a whole lot of that anymore.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's funny though that those plastic collars that are over it makes it look like a cheap plastic shock, but actually underneath it's a real aluminium construction. Isn't it? It's a full aluminium shock absorber with plastic stuff all over it, so it looks like it's plastic, which is rather strange.
There's a lot of similarities. You mentioned it, Phil, a minute ago about between the Hotshot and the Fox, which came out about a year later, I think. Have either of you two got a Fox or built a Fox?
I've heard a lot of problems about Foxes, to be honest. I don't know about you, Phil.
I've got one there somewhere. Where are you? It should be right behind me.
Oh, you should be able to tell me the answer to that then.
Where are you? Where the heck?
I've heard of
lost his Fox.
A few problems with the drivetrain and so on.
It's over
there. Don't know.
Oh, my bigwig. I do have one.
Have you had any problems with it, Phil?
No, you know what? I think I've only driven it twice. So it's very low miles, but I did put a super stock BZ motor in it. I made one of my first running videos like years ago. I made on YouTube with it. That wasn't a good video. Don't watch it. There's one really good shot. I remember one good shot. It's like 8 minutes of nonsense for one good shot. So
it's worthwhile.
Totally. But no, you know what though? The only thing that bugged me about it is that on the Fox is that if you're looking at it from behind, the body tends to kind of sit up like this. So the if there were a passenger, if you're in North America and there were a passenger, let's say the right side of the vehicle, the right side of the body sits up like this. And that's where the motor wires go. And I've done everything to, tuck away the motor wires, and there's only the 2 body posts. And no matter what I do, it's always leaning like this, and it drives me absolutely insane. That's my beef with the Fox.
Well, let me tell you my beef with the Hotshot, because we've loved on it, and it is lovely. But I'll tell you what's really frustrating. If anything goes wrong inside that tiny little electronics box, getting in there to sort it out is such a pain in the backside.
Yeah, it's not fun. There's some screws to be undone.
Yeah. Back in the day, we must have all had daintier fingers to get in there and be able to undo the various bits and pieces that are in there. Like if you need to reprogram your ESC, which is in that box, you just forget it. Forget it. Write it off.
Yeah. Keep it simple. Keep a simple ESC in there. Keep it switched on, so as soon as your battery plugs in, it's on. That's what I've done with all of mine, and then you're good to go.
To be fair, it's a little bit the same as the XV01, because that's got that kind of screw down cover. It's not quite as bad as the Hotshot, but very similar. I've left a receiver and an ESC, and I've never touched them since. I normally swap them between all my cars to keep the price down, keep the cost down. But those 2 cars, they're screwed in. And that's quite unusual, isn't it, these days?
Yeah. For that exact reason, Mark, that people want to be able to swap the electronics out and change things around. Yeah. Okay. Phil, that is an excellent choice. Excellent choice. I've got one final question on the Hotshot, though. Is the Hotshot the best car in that series of RC buggies?
I don't think so. I think as the Hotshots evolved, and I think we have to be specific, because I guess there's a larger kind of Hotshot family, which would include the Hotshot, Hotshot 2, and the Supershot. But then it would also span out to like the Super Sabre, Boomerang, and Bigwig, right? I believe they're technically part of that family. So if we're just going to look at the 3, the Hotshot 1, 2, and Supershot, I think they evolved. I mean, the clear thing you can see is the evolution of the suspension mechanics. You go from monoshock to front monoshock to rear shocks that stand up to the Supershot, which has 4 I mean, all vehicles are four-wheel independent suspension, but the Super Shot has one shock per tire, or four shocks in total, which I think would make it the best performer of the three, just based off suspension geometry. I think it would handle the best, but I haven't driven all three in any kind of a comparative way to really, sway my decision or put any more value or thought into that decision, other than just simply looking at the suspension mechanics of it.
Yeah.
I've driven a Super Shot for a very small amount of time, and it is a better handling car, absolutely, because it's got that more advanced suspension system. But for me, I think I would still pick up the Hot Shot over the Super Shot. And that's just me. Not because it's better in any way, but because for me it is the iconicness of that particular chassis that would win me over every time, regardless of, because if you're going for a performing car, you wouldn't be picking one of that family at all. You'd pick something else. So it's almost irrelevant how it drives. It's about how it looks with that one for me. And that's all. That's all I care about with that one. It's just how good that Hot Shot looks.
Very good point.
But
one thing I'm going to have to go back to the Super Shot one final time. And for those of you watching at home, this wonderful machine, I just finished this the other day. And, one of the nicest things, I mean, whether it's Hot Shot 1, 2 or Super, you've got this low slung body line, this low roof line, which I love. And until I saw this car in person, just the way this kind of lightning bolt comes up and the way the body is shaped and it covers a bit of that driver's netting on either side, that just jumps off the page to me. Like seeing it in person, I look at it in the mic and I look at it on the screen and it's there. But when you see it in person, something about it just changes the way this car feels. And it just, I don't know, the design of this thing, I built this to kind of drive it and make some videos with it. And then I finished the video and I'm like, no, that's way too nice. I'm going to take care of this one and keep it on the shelf. It's stunning.
Phil, I'm so glad you picked up on the screen then, because the best bit on that car for me are those gold plated tires.
Is that
the wheels?
Right?
Sorry, the wheels are just.
I mean, they look so good.
They are
color combo,
absolutely
the red,
awesome.
The black, red, black, and gold. I mean, look at that. It's just awesome. And I've seen another YouTuber recent. What's that, Mark?
I was going to say, I agree with everything both of you just said, but for me, it's the twin wibbly wobblies.
Yes, the twin.
The twin aerials. That just gets it for me.
Oh, it's so cool.
I'm so sucked in by that. I love it. I love that car.
There's another YouTuber that recently said something how brush motors are dead, and I couldn't disagree more, because and I love the guy. If you're listening, you know who you are. But look, you got that GT tuned motor in there and that nice shiny end bell. Come on, this is artwork. This is so beautiful. Who cares about performance?
Yeah.
Do you know that brings me on to something, because I think there is a gap in the market for somebody to bring out some really nice designed classic brushed motors to sell to enthusiasts like us that are not just, cheap manufactured out somewhere. They are someone properly designs them to be beautifully artworked and designed and functioning brushed motors for the modern market. I think that'd be an absolute slam dunk.
You're onto something there, I think, because even look at the speedrun challenge that we do every year. The guys in the brush category are often running vintage electronics. They're the guys that are doing 60, 70, 80 miles per hour. Not
you, Mark.
But we've got guys going crazy fast.
Yeah, I managed 45, which not bad on modern brush motors, but like Phil just said, they are not a patch on what there was back in the 70s and 80s. The quality of the materials, the magnets are not strong enough. They're just nowhere near what they used to have back in the day. That's for sure.
I would agree with you, Mark. And it's unfortunate because, I've been to that Club 380 racing, and we get a Tamiya Sport Tube 380 motor that plugs in to that. And there's a set of guys out in Japan who have started producing some 380 motors with the artwork on them, and they're all slightly different. They all have different timing and different stuff. And they're beautiful because they're designed to be beautiful. The decal on it and everything they've done about it is just fantastic. And Phil, I think you're onto something. You cut out a little bit then as you were mid-flow, and I think you're onto something. There is a gap in the market for someone to bring back the brushed motor for speed run challenges, for just enthusiasts to get hold of it and do something different. Phil, you were talking about the guys that have been using those old brush motors and how difficult they are to find these days.
That's right. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. My internet just froze up. But that's what the guys are using. They're using fast, old, 6-turn, 8-turn, 10-turn brushed motors from back in the day, plus limitless ESCs, also from back in the day. And these guys are going ridiculously fast. So, this is antiquated technology, but there is a certain charm to it. And, newer isn't always better, right? I mean, I'm also the guy that drives old crappy cars all the time, but still, it's it's you don't have to have brushless to have the most fun. Brushed is also very fun, looks super cool, and there's something satisfying about maintaining a motor. Like I think brushless motors, when they crap the bed, you throw them out. A brush motor, you take it apart, you clean your commutator, you get the motor spray and you clean all the gunk out of there. And servicing was kind of part of what we did growing up, and I think there's an enjoyment level to that.
Absolutely agree with it. So maybe we found a niche in the market here. Maybe the three of us should go into business and design a poor boys Brian OAG brushed motor line. Yeah,
I think you're right. Yeah, but
for the old cruiser and the speed runner. Yeah.
But what I've seen at the moment, from what my experience is, I've always strayed away from the Tamiya brush motor, especially the more upmarket, more expensive ones. And I recently got a TZ, and I've got to say, I wished I'd have spent my money a bit earlier on those motors, because I was absolutely amazed by how good they are. I think that those Tamiya TZ, RZ, what's the other one, Phil? BZ. They're 30 to 40 pounds UK over here, which is quite a lot of money. But having said that, they're almost the same power as some of the brushless motors I've got. And you've got to remember, if you get a brushless motor, you've got to get a brushless ESC, which again is lots and lots of money. So if you're not running the motor that often, it's actually not a bad buy at all for the performance. Like I say, I was getting like 34 mile an hour. I think I got out of my Super Astute with the TZ motor, which is quite amazing. So
and
brush motors
on them is beautiful as well.
Alive and kicking. Yeah, definitely.
The Superstock BZ, I think, is such a sweet spot motor for two-wheel drive Tamiya monster trucks. I put one in my Monster Beetle, and I have one in my Pumpkin for a little while, and it is just this awesome medley of torque and speed, and it just hauls, man, and it works so well, and it doesn't get hot. It's never stressed out. It's just like another day at the shop. You know what I mean? And it just goes and goes. And it looks so nice. It's got the blue stickers on it and the blue end bell and everything. And just it's a work of art. It's I can't say enough good things about the Superstock BZ. And they label it as a 23 turn, which, I mean, like to your point, Mark, I mean, it feels faster, more powerful than a 17 turn to me.
Yeah.
I ran those HPI Firebolts. I think they were a 15 turn, and a Superstock BZ 23 feels like that.
Yeah. I've tried a Firebolt. I think I had a Firebolt. Rob had one of those in his XV1 against. I had I think an 18-turn Absima, and the Firebolt was loads slower with the 15-turn. You'd think it'd be faster than an 18-turn. So I'm with you. I think those old retro Tamiya motors. I know there's a lot of fans of them out there, and I can see why.
So there you go. We've gone from hot shot to brushed motors to, we've done it all there. That is, Phil, great choice, great conversation. And we have a business idea that we need to put into action, unless someone now listens to this and beats us to it, of course. But hey, so is life, right? So is life. So that talks about our hero cars. Now, there was this show in Japan, and Tamiya went along, and there was a lot of other awesome. Look, Phil, you did a great video covering all the different awesome stuff that was at that show. And if you're listening to this and you haven't checked out Phil's video, go and do so. That was a really good video. But I was really left quite disappointed about how little Tamiya brought to the table at that show. And it got me thinking, because when I was asking what did people think was going to be at that show, someone said to me, TTO3. And we did not see a TTO3 there. And it got me thinking that if the Tamiya was to do a TTO3, what do we think it would be like? And what would be our wishes and hopes for a TTO3? Who would like to go first?
Take it, Mark.
Mark is rubbing his hands.
Okay, yeah. I'm with you on this, Craig. Yeah, a lot of people, I know a lot of people were expecting, and probably a lot more people were hoping for a TTO3. And the way I look at it is that they started with the TTO1 as an entry-level four-wheel drive kind of cheap basher, if you can call it a Tamiya a basher, I suppose you can. And then they brought out the TTO2 and they improved little bits and parts on it, you know, the way that the differentials mount and so on. It's kind of a much more versatile chassis. You could put it in high ground clearance, low ground clearance, long and short. Do you know what, guys? For the price of it, I know a lot of people slag the TTO2 off, but it's got a real, you know, plethora of good design features, and it's still quite cheap. So what I would expect for a TTO3 would be more of the same. Cheap, affordable, and like multi-purpose, you know, and a clever design. But you know, I really scratched my head thinking of how they could do that. That's why I think they haven't brought one out. Maybe they don't know what to do next. What do you think?
Phil, you got any comment before I go?
Go for it. Suppose of that one.
I've been yakking. You go. You got an idea, bro?
So,
I can see it.
Well, I have, because I think what would make that chassis better is I'd like to get away with that horrible bit at the front, Mark, that you super glue in. You fill it in, the crosshatch stuff at the front where the stones jam up.
The webbing.
They lock up the steering. That just annoys me, right?
Absolutely.
I think they could go with a slipper clutch somewhere at the back. Yep. Could. Or they could introduce a center differential in that unit, because the XVO2 and the XM01, which are the two rally cars, both have the option to put a center diff in. And I think if they could find a cheap way of doing that for the TT03, that would add something different that I think would be quite unique.
Very good point, mate. I like that.
Very good point.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here. You see, every now and then I come up with something useful.
More than just a pretty face.
Absolutely.
So what are your thoughts on that? Center diff on the TTO2 or TTO3?
I think that's a realistic expectation. Mark and I were talking about this off line a few minutes ago. And in my opinion, what else are you going to do? The TTO1 and TTO2 are what's the difference? There's not a whole lot going on there. Yeah. And on top of that, if you ask me, I think a TTO1 is still better out of the box. I've driven both out of the box, and I can more easily drive a TTO1 out of the box than I can a TTO2, other than having to kind of Dremel out those little, you know, where the battery tray goes to fit a lipo. Because to me, it's still, I guess the TTO2 better accommodated a lipo. So as long as the TTO3 is designed to fit a proper modern battery, which is important to say, because we still get Tamiyas that come out that are designed to fit, you know, nickel metal hydride stick packs, which, let's face it, like they're just very few people run those anymore. And if you want to, sure, go ahead. But I would say let the battery tray be designed for the majority of people running lipos.
Yeah, that's a fair comment.
Yeah.
What's that? You have a comment?
I just said that's a fair comment. Yeah, because
fair comment. Okay.
I absolutely agree, because now I have some lipos. It's nothing more frustrating than you get one of those and you go, that's not going to fit in here. I've got to pad it out. I've got to put spacers in. So I get that, Phil. That's a good point.
And then the other thing was a slipper clutch, or I'm sorry, a center diff. That's what I think would be just a real nice next step up in terms of how that car could handle. And look, I mean, there are companies out there that are putting out very inexpensive RC cars that, you know, $200 ready to run Canadian RC cars that have all metal drive lines, center diff, slipper clutches, brushless motors, you name it, come with 2-3 batteries sometimes. So I don't know how Tamiya's business model works in terms of how they're pricing, what their margins need to be in order for them to put something to market. Because it seems like as soon as they put a few little upgrades in a more of a basic chassis, the price increases 2 to 3-fold, which is curious to me. But come on, throw us a bone. Give us a center diff, possibly a slipper. I think I'd prefer a center diff myself. And then just some more tunability. You know, I mean, there's already lots of tunability. To Mark's point earlier, being able to, you know, go from rally spec to road spec, I think that would be important to make sure they can maintain and keep that, so we can have that versatility on the chassis. And I don't know, maybe some more cool licensed bodies. I mean, they're home run in that. The licensed bodies from Tamiya are outstanding. But yeah, more of the same. But just give us something like that center diff, and I guess slop reduction too. Slop, I think. From TTO1 to TTO2, I think we increased in slop.
And then from there to BTO1, MBO1, they dialed that up to 11 again, didn't they?
That's slop level 11. Much slop.
Just throw in a few bushings, guys, a few shims, I should say. That's all we need.
Yeah.
We you know, they'd cost a few pence, wouldn't they, for them to throw in?
Honestly, throw them in there. I mean, they're testing it. They built it. They designed it. You're doing the R&D on it. You're doing the testing.
They know.
Like, this thing does not drive straight. Hopefully no one notices.
They know. One last thing I would say is, from my experience with it, I'm not sure, I've not got much experience with the TTO1, Phil, but TTO2 definitely, once you start ramping up the power just even a little bit, oh my gosh, the torque steer. You must have felt that as well. You start and it just turns left. Basically, as soon as you hit any power, it turns left. They need to sort that. If they could sort that out, it would make that chassis so much better, just in one fell swoop.
So why do you think that happens, Mark? What do you think drives that torque?
It's to do with the center prop shaft turning the front and rear diff in the same direction. It's torque steer because they're both turning the same way, and it just veers the car off. As it's turned, it actually turns to the left, and the car turns to the left because of that torque from the motor.
So is that just because the teeth are the opposite way around? If the teeth were a different way around, would it drive it in different directions then?
Yeah, they need to be. If you could, like you said, or Phil said, if you put a center diff in and they would counter rotate, that would cancel out that torque reaction. Am I right? Am I talking rubbish?
Yeah, 100%.
No, it makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's because you're driving it all in the same direction. It veers to the direction that the motor's turning, or the prop shaft turning. So if you counter rotate them, that's gone, and it'll go in a straight line. So if they could do that if only that would be good enough, wouldn't it, Phil? I'm with you. Center diff, counter rotating props, jobs are good. And TTO3, thank you very much.
Switch up the design a bit too, right? Because the old
we've just solved it for Tamiya.
Free Tamiya marketing right here.
Go on, Phil.
But the two designs are very similar in the sense you have the motor mounted to a spur gear at the back. So if you could have that center diff and pull that motor forward a little bit, that would change the entire layout of the car. That would really make it feel like a whole new car. And then do something cool with the body, like, I don't know. There's so many different licensed, neat bodies you could choose. Even maybe the new Hoonigan, like the new Subaru Brat Hoonigan. A vehicle like that, something fun, funky, and new.
Yeah,
that would capture a lot of attention.
Definitely.
That's a great idea. It's a great call. So basically what we're saying is, give us a nice, cheap platform as they have done. Work out how they put an affordable center diff in to get rid of the torque steer. Give us some killer bodies, not killer bodies, but some killer bodies to amp it up so we've got a reason to buy this new model. What about friction shocks versus CVA shocks? I mean, Tamiya's buggies and stuff come with a lot of CVA. You could buy a DTO3 these days for £80 with CVA shocks. I don't think there's any excuse not to have some mini CVAs on a TTO, whatever, TTO3. Do you?
I can't believe we didn't even think of that yet. But I mean, it's such an obvious point. You know, come on. What are you giving us friction shocks for? Give me a break. You know,
because what happens to 90% of those?
Cost?
They end up just. Well, those mini CVAs only come in sets of 2, don't they? And I want to say that they probably charge somewhere between £20 and £25 for a set of 2. So that's a £50 hop up if you want to put CVA shocks on it. You know, but I don't pay that to put CVA shocks on my DTO3.
I think you can, Craig. I'm pretty sure I've bought a set of 4 for about 25 quid. I'm not sure if it's super minis or the minis, but I'm sure you can get them. Or maybe it's the set without, I think it might be the set without the springs. It's a set of 4, but not the springs. But having said that, I just want to go back quickly for what we're saying about the, I call them pogo sticks, the standard thing that come with them. They call them friction shocks, which is a lie because there's no friction whatsoever, as you guys both know. But I did have a first run of my TTO2 Porsche, or sorry for the purists, I should say Porsche 911. And on the road, on a smooth road, actually, guys, it was okay. I had to eat my words a little bit. I was quite, you know what? That's actually quite fun as it is. But if you're going anywhere near off-road, you've got to have oil shocks. That's just a no-brainer. I'm with you on that, guys. But just to say that on road, actually, if it's smooth, you can just about get away with it. But I still don't like them.
No.
No to friction shocks, or no friction shocks in my case, as I would say.
Well,
so
it makes you wonder how
we are pretty.
Sorry, Craig. Go ahead.
Oh. No, you go for it. Go for it.
I'm gonna start raising my hand more. Raise my virtual hand.
It's
here. I'll do it.
We've got the delay.
There we go. There we go. But you know what I was gonna say is, it sort of begs the question to me, like how are all these other companies producing inexpensive RC cars that are so well equipped, aluminum oil filled shocks, multiple batteries, chargers, you know, sometimes 2 bodies, you know, all steel driveline, you know, every upgrade you could imagine for a low price point, let's say $180 to $200 Canadian, versus did you guys hear me? I think I'm frozen again. I am frozen again.
Keep going, Phil.
You sound like a robot, but I can just about hear you.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Mike, I looked like I froze for a second.
Yeah.
So how do they do it? You know, how do they do it for such a low price point? And then Tamiya, we're talking about
just keep
taking
talking.
a TTO2, giving us some oil shocks and a center diff, and for some reason I'm thinking it's going to be $300. But in reality, why would it be more than, you know, I'm saying maybe an extra $20 on the final sticker price, $25 on the final sticker price?
Yeah.
Which would be fair. It would be fair to pay. Everybody would pay it.
Yep.
No one's going to balk at that.
And bearings, of course. Bearings. Put bearings in there, not bushings.
Yeah.
They didn't put bearings in the DTO4, did they? When they released that came with bushings. So, you know, I think there's a debate there. I mean, Tamiya just don't like putting those in the cars unless they're a premium kit, really. But I agree with everything else, and it wouldn't be unrealistic to bring a TTO3 in at a slightly higher price point because they're probably still going to want to sell the TTO2 and maybe the TTO. Well, the TTO1 they still put on the racing truck, don't they? And that has a race series that goes with that, so they're going to want to still make that kit. So yeah, I think there might be a room in the market for something different, and I think people would appreciate it. I love some of the bodies, but I'm just sick of buying them on a TTO2. So I think we all agree TTO3. If we're going to do it, Tamiya, give us a little something extra, a bit of something sweet, and don't mind paying a little bit more. but let's make it worth the upgrade. Yeah, good.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I was looking through other RC car news because we always have a segment on other RC car news, and I'm a little out of touch with what's been going on, so you have to excuse me. But there was something that I did notice the other day, and that was someone, Traxxas, I think it was, doing an RS200 like rally car thing. Have you guys seen that?
Saw that. Yes, looks
I've
pretty
seen
cool.
a snippet of it. Yeah,
Looked cool
Yeah.
until I realized that it was a mini.
Now there was some
and
debate about whether it was
priced
going to be
as though it wasn't a
1/10
mini.
or
Yeah, because in the video, the
Yeah.
promotional video,
it was quite expensive.
that's right. In the promotional video, it does not, at least it didn't look like a mini to me. There's a point in which a fella, you just see his arm come down and he changes the battery from a 2S to a 3S. And it looked like a 10 scale rally car to me. And I don't know if that's just fancy Traxxas camera work or what. But, later I learned that it's a mini, and it's like, I think they're like $400 or something US. They're actually quite expensive.
Wow.
Cool
Didn't
car.
They do
Just
was it
so
the same?
expensive.
They do a Lancia Delta on the same mini as well. Was that right, Phil?
I don't know,
Did they do
Mark.
the RS200 and the Delta? I think I saw that RS200, and that's a rare rally car to see these days in real life, or even in reproduction in like a model car. Funnily enough, I had one of those with my friend Rob. I raced him round the local park. He's got one of those RS200s on a crazy chassis. But yeah, I haven't seen that body, that RS200 body, for a long, long time. It is a beautiful thing, and it is a classic. Whether the Traxxas one will be any good or whether it's going to be worth the money, I'm not so sure.
So
Googling
it
right
says
now.
here on my screen, and I am frantically trying to share my
It's
screen.
1/16 scale, and it is $630 Canadian, which,
What?
man, $630 Canadian
What?
for a 1/16 scale.
So
Dude,
in the UK, £459.
What?
Yeah.
I'll wait for the TT03 till hell freezes over.
Yeah, it doesn't say the scale. I mean, that does come. It does come with a receiver, transmitter, 2S lipo, USB-C charger, clipless body. It's got stuff with it, but I mean, it's still £459 for a 1/16.
No,
that is
No,
a
I think I'm
huge
going to say I'm
price point. I think if the market accepts that, that's just saying, hey guys, go ahead, charge us anything you want.
yeah. Rip me off. I'm here. I've got loads of money to waste.
If that had been 1/10, at that price,
Yeah.
I think that would be okay. 1/16.
Yeah.
I agree. 1/16 is pretty small. Like it's that's I don't know. That's a crazy price point. And no doubt it's going to be awesome. It'll be a fun car. Absolutely be a fun car. Just it's just a lot of dough to cash out for something that's as small as it is.
But everybody's wallet is finite, right? So most people's wallet is finite. So there's only so much fun money you've got after you take out everything in life. We guys get some money to spend on our hobbies. £459 on a 1/16 scale car is competing with an awful lot of other pulls on that £459. Yeah. And you've got to really want that RS200 because you like the car, you like the body, and you like the setup. To go for that over, say, I don't know, a Tamiya kit or what's the ones that you guys have done recently? You had that truck, that stadium truck, Phil. I'm losing myself here. Is it the Grom or the? Am I way off base with this?
Stadium truck. Maybe the Groms are the smaller ones. Is that what you're referring to? The Armor Groms?
What's the bigger one?
Oh,
yeah, the Armor. There's a bigger one. What's it? Thank
Mojave.
you.
Yeah. Well,
so how much is that?
I mean, I bought mine for, I think it was like $750 Canadian, and that's ready to run. It needed a battery though, no battery. So I mean, for $100 more, you can get a 7th scale extreme basher that is like, you know, if you've never driven one of those things before, like they are just, it's like, it's the most fun. It's so big and loud and powerful and fast and crazy.
Did you just say 1/7 scale?
Correct. Yeah.
1/7.
Yeah. The Arma. Yeah.
For $100 more than a 1/16. That's just,
isn't that crazy?
That's mental. That's mental.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And it's Arma. It's not like it's some, you know, fly by night brand. It's a very
quality.
well-known brand.
See, there's clearly some disconnect in the market because I'm on Model Sport here in the UK, and that has it advertised as a 1/10. That has it down as a 1/10 scale VXL 3S brushless power mini rally VXL.
So that's what they're doing.
Says
so
it's 1/10.
They're putting 1/10 electronics in it, 1/10 scale differentials, 1/10 scale drive line, like they did with the Minimax. They're putting 10 scale components in a 16 scale platform.
Ah.
Yeah. So
that's really confusing, isn't it?
That is confusing.
Yeah, and like the images are like,
confusing.
you know, 16 standard 16 scale diff, and here's our 10 scale diff. Okay, that's cool. That's seriously overbuilt. That's honestly pretty awesome. But it's still a monkey metal 10 scale diff. Like it's not, you know, I don't know. It's still too expensive.
I don't want to jump on the bandwagon here, but we're talking about a 16th scale expensive car from Traxxas. I've had a lot of stuff sent to me. I hold my hands up from people like Hypergo, Rolalo, and their stuff. They're knocking out those 1/16 bashers with 3S brushless systems in them for just over £100, £100.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is Canadian, Phil, but you know, and it's like so much fun for your money, and I can't see how Traxxas could really compete with something like that that's coming out of China. I know it's controversial and like people moan about stuff coming out of China, but I've had the gear and I genuinely like the stuff. I've had fun with the stuff. They look cool. They go well. It's quite an argument, really, isn't it?
It's a real good argument as well. Yeah, it's a really good point.
It is.
I know a lot of people moan about stuff from China, but in my book, I'm sorry, but I can't knock it. It's good stuff.
I'll tell you what. I'll settle the argument. If Traxxas send me their RS200 car, and if someone else sends me another 1/16 car to compare, I'll happily put it to the test, and I'll happily give everyone my opinion. But I don't think I'm going to be spending that amount of money myself.
Well, I'm happy. I hope Traxxas send you one because I'll quite happily lend you any of my 1/16 Chinese bashers, mate. You can have all of them to test, so you can tell Traxxas that, and they can put that in their pipe and smoke it.
You are right, though.
That's the only.
Yeah, sorry, but I'm saying, Mark, you are 100% bang on because some of those MJX cars are incredible bang for the buck. Some of the Rolalo cars, incredible. DRC, who's I think MJX, Jetwood, they're all kind of coming out of the same plant. Amazing cars, and you can get 3 of them for the price of one of these Traxxas. So there's something to be said about that.
Absolutely. So that was the only car that I picked up that was coming new. Do you guys got anything to throw into the mix there, or are we is that it at the minute?
Well, there's the R word that has been thrown around here. We can't say much, but we can say that it exists.
We just mentioned, I just mentioned that company. Phil's mentioned that company again. And like you said, we are bound by an agreement. But I think we are allowed to say, Phil, there's something coming out that I think people are going to be quite excited about.
Hot scoop on Talks Tamiya. Look at that.
We got a hot all we scoop. Can say.
Something is bubbling away in the background, and you heard it here first.
Yep.
You guys, you never disappoint me. You never leave me hanging. There's always a little nugget of information that you got. I love it.
They've let a little bit out. I think I think it's known right now. If you were to hop online, you know that Rolalo is releasing another 10 scale rally car.
Nice.
And it's supposed to be the bee's knees. And Mark's got his, and I've got mine, and that's all we know about that. Official release date is November 21st, next 2 Fridays from now. But on November 14th, they're hosting a live stream event.
Yeah.
Where everyone's, go to Larlo's official website, or I'm sorry, official Facebook. Geez, I can't think today. Their official YouTube page.
YouTube channel. Yeah.
Go to their YouTube channel, Larlo's official YouTube channel, and they're going to have a live stream next Friday, the 14th. And that's when you're going to see all of the goodies on this bad boy. You're going to want to be there.
Yeah, I agree with Phil. I've got mine. I've looked at it. I've got a big smile on my face, and it's definitely going to be worth checking out that live stream if you're interested in what they've got to offer.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. You heard it here first. I don't have one.
Saying them up.
Just saying. I'm just saying. I haven't got one. Just saying. Okay. So, right, we are at the point where we need to talk about what's coming up on our channels. So, Mark, would you like to go first? What are you working on at the minute?
I had a massive delivery this morning, completely out of the blue. I did a review on the FMS FS 124th scale crawler, and all of a sudden 3 more turned up today. So I'm going to be doing a bit more on that. They've got a release of their latest website, which is a brand new UK website, and they've got a new UK distributor. So I'll be working on that. There's the Rollo that's coming up, and I've still got that blooming Land Rover Bulldog build that I'm doing on the SCA 1E chassis.
That is nice, man. That is nice.
It is absolutely. It's a real pleasure to put together, but geez, guys, it's a lot of work. I'm struggling, and I've nearly got to the end of the chassis, and it's looking really, really good. It's absolutely beautiful. But that bodywork, I almost want to kind of put it in the shed and leave it till next year. It looks so complicated. There's so much of it to do. But yeah, I'll go over to my mate Rob's, bend his arm up his back, and get him to give me a hand, because he's good. He's good to me like that.
Yeah.
So we'll get there with that, and I'm really looking forward to putting that over on the channel, because I think that's going to look really nice. And it's going to be a lovely thing to film, going over the Shires.
I was going to say, Mark,
the Shires, and I've been really impressed with Phil's the Shires video. I'm not just saying it. I'm not blowing smoke. That video today, was it today? Did it come out? I might have been a bit late, but yeah, the cinematography, music, everything. Go and watch Phil's video. Bloody brilliant.
Make me blush.
Yeah. No, mate, it's deserved. There's
a lot of love going on here, isn't there? There's a lot of love going on.
So, well, you know what? We're friends here, aren't we? And, you know, this community is what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Well
said.
Absolutely. I'm loving this time at the moment. So I'm really, the stuff on my channel, everything going on, the comments, everything. Yeah, it's really making my day. It really is. Anyway, so
well
Phil,
said.
What's going on?
What's
going on?
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. What have I got going on here? Happy to build that hot shot. The Shire. Well, you know what's funny is because I did a poll on YouTube on the Facebook group, and I said whatever happened to running videos, and people said they want to see them, and I think there's a finite group of us that do, and a lot of people that don't, because I can get, I'm not the biggest channel, but a good performing video in a weekend, I can pull 3,000 views. And on my Arctos running video that I did, dedicated running video, I pulled maybe a third of that. So not everybody wants to watch them, but they're still the videos that I'm the most passionate about making. And now that I've actually learned a few things about making videos, I'm actually quite proud of that product that I'm putting out there. And I love watching those. I don't like watching myself on television, but I love watching my own running videos, because they're just fun. And then, trying to elevate that game by adding more storytelling, which is what I did in that last Arctos running video. There's a Losi Micro T that was, in the description box, it's stranded, the weather's coming in, they can't get out, kind of thing. And they've got to get rescued by this 6x6 Arctos recovery vehicle. And, as the music built up and the winch is coming out and the little Losi's being pulled up the mountainside, I mean, I lay it on, I make it as cheesy as I possibly can to make you guys laugh when you're watching this stuff and be like, it's so over the top, but that's all done with intent, and that's to make people smile and just enjoy it and have a little fun with the hobby. And some beautiful, I live in a beautiful place, so I'm very blessed to live where I live, so I can get these, really nice kind of backdrops everywhere and just tell some fun stories. So we're planning, my wife and I are actually planning to do some more of that together. I need her to help me with the next big running video that we're going to do. So that'll be fun. And other than that, it's kind of business as usual. I've got lots of new cars to review. Some I can tell you about, some I can't. First expert assembled Tamiya that I've ever seen is at the channel right now. We're raffling that off this month, which is pretty cool. So if you want to check out my raffle page, check that out. Midnight Pumpkin Expert Assembled Series, donated by BC Hobbies, who is the best. They've been helping us out quite a bit lately. So shout out to them. And we're just kind of grinding away, guys. I got a cool knockoff Tamiya little 4-wheel drive TT01 AliExpress special here that's going to be featured shortly on the channel as well. Cheap knockoff, but fully upgraded versus a Tamiya. I mean, it kind of rolls back to how this whole conversation started a while ago.
It did.
Anyway, lots brewing here at Poor Boys. What about you, Craig?
So I've been very busy on multiple fronts, but I have had some time for some RC. And I've been slaving away getting some videos edited from the Orchard Raceway series, which I'm still plugging away at getting done. I've got all the voiceover. I've done all the video. I've got all the voiceover to now do with my lovely new microphone. So hopefully it'll be lovely. And I've been doing this this Raider conversion. I bought this this kit, this hot trick kit thing that I've been putting together. And I've got so far into that and realized that I need a whole bunch of extra hardware that I just don't have. So it's really fun. I hate it when you're doing an RC project. You get so far into it and you go, oh, I need that bit. I need this bit. I need this bit. And then I broke one of the arms and I needed to buy a new arm. And of course, getting one of those is next to impossible because you've got to buy a donor car and then I found the arm and then I couldn't get this flipping C-hub, not the C-hub, what they call it at the back, the upright. Couldn't get the rear upright off it. And then I cracked that and I had to buy another up. And you know what it's like when you're buying vintage parts, you just, everything's an extra cost. And you're like, why am I doing this? This buggy is going to cost me a freaking fortune. Then I'm going to crash it into the bloody grass roller up on the Orchard Raceway and I'm going to kill myself. But it's a whole other story and I will get there with it, I'm sure. And I'll be very happy when it's finished. But it takes up space. You get it out, I start building it, and then something else comes up and I've got to put it all away again. It's just, I love the hobby, but I don't love that part of the hobby.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm with you. The vintage stuff, especially, like, I'm not particularly keen on restoring RC cars. If I can find a vintage RC that doesn't need much restoration, I'm cool with that. But that's about it. Because, like you said, by the time, and I'm in Canada, I think in the UK, you guys have more access, and there seems to be more of a vibrant kind of vintage community out there. Whereas here, even Tamiya is kind of a redheaded stepchild, so to speak. There's not a lot of shops that carry Tamiya, let alone replacement parts. And vintage parts, don't even think about it, dude. Not happening. So, yeah.
So I've got one final question, okay? And I'm dying to know, Phil, did you actually manage to get any Tamiya paint into Canada?
No. Short answer is no. We did not. And shout out to the boys. There's some boys from the UK. There's boys from all over the world that have tried. And the last attempt was the most creative attempt and my favorite attempt. I won't name names, but the fella marked them as maracas. Because they're maracas. Because when you shake them,
shake.
So on the customs declaration, it says maracas. I mean, we've got aliases and maracas. We are the amount of BS that was applied, and like just hundreds of wasted dollars and so much effort. God bless you boys for trying. Honestly, you guys are the best. But a lot of laughs.
I still can't believe that there's. I still can't believe there's not a friendly Tamiya enthusiast in Canada that just hasn't got a tin of that paint sat in their store cupboard. They go, oh, I'll just send this to Phil. I know he needs it. Come on, let's hook him up. You know what?
One guy did that on Facebook Marketplace. A guy sends me a link, and a guy's selling a buttload of paint, and he started a small hobby store. It went under. Never even heard of him. And he's over on the mainland. He's about maybe like a 10-hour drive from me, which I'm not going to drive for the paint. So I just said, hey, I need those 2 colors. Please send me those. And he's like, no, I want to sell everything. I want one big shot. And he was offering the paint at cost or even less than cost. But it was like $500 worth of paint that, I don't need 5 PS4s. What the hell am I going to do? I'm not a hobby store. I don't want to inventory to me a paint for the rest of my life. I'm sure it's got a shelf life to some extent too, So thanks, but it's just not happening. So I'm going to use my On Point paint. My body is here. It has been washed and prepped and cut, and I'm going to use what I have, and I'm going to stay positive, and it's going to look great, and that'll be that. Good man.
Well, I'm sorry I asked, but a great story, and well done to the RC community for trying to hook Phil up. So,
honestly,
and on that note,
legend.
Yeah.
And on that note, we've hit the end of our time. Gentlemen, thank you very much, as always, for joining me. If you have not checked out Mark or Phil's channels, please do so. I will put some links in the video description and the podcast description. I'm sure anyone listening to this knows their channel, but if you haven't, make sure you check the guys out. Mark, thank you very much.
Always a pleasure,
Phil,
mate. Anytime.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Smiley emoji.
And smiley emojis. And we'll see you all next time on Talks Tamiya. Bye for now.
Later, skaters.
Thanks for watching. Cheers.